Alrighty, y'all. So obviously, I told you guys wait, and I will do the showcase today for the rerun characters, right? I do want to have more showcases out for Sakura because I feel like I still do want to try her out in some things. But today we're gonna have the rerun showcases for obviously Neon and Mary, and we're starting off with Neon, right? I don't have light on today, but I'm sure you guys can see me because I can even see me in the camera today, so there is that. But yes, I am going to showcase these rerun characters because I do think these characters are well, obviously they're due for their 1 year later showcase. Also, if you haven't opened up the game yet, go ahead. We got top grossing or whatever, best selling, #1 on the best selling list, whatever. But yeah, Neon currently has her banner out for 20 days, and honestly I do think she is the worst out of the bunch. Now, I've never tried Neon with obviously the new type of support we have today, which is like Crown and her team. And not only that, we're going against the fire boss, but if she cannot do more damage than Trani, both of them are the same thing, right? Attraction one, no dupes, both 555 and both reload, right? That's the one thing. So the thing about Neon, actually, she's kind of like Modernia, where you don't want her to use her burst skill. We're gonna use her burst skill here, but we're gonna do a run where we're not using her burst skill. But that's kind of her whole thing. You don't want her to use her burst skill because her burst skill, let me just show you guys, her burst skill makes the number go, oh my, what is that? I can't even, hold on, I need to pull up Pride Win because they didn't fix this. Alrighty, her burst skill changes the weapon, and then it deals 33%. Is this her? Yeah, it deals 33% of final attack, right? And it's like one every like second, so it's like 33% for 7 seconds or something like that. It's because she's a machine gun character, right? So it's like much more damage output from just her normal attacks than if you were to think, right? And then it says when you're fighting a fire code, which is exactly what we're doing now. She is better against parts and stuff like that, enemies with parts and stuff like that. So here it says when you use a burst skill, she'll have damage increase to parts and stuff like that. So if you want to use her with Rosanna and Sakura, by all means, right? Because technically she would do that. But you have to use her burst skill to get this. So that's kind of the problem with this character, right? You don't want to use her burst skill because you lose a lot of damage. But if you don't use her burst skill, you lose her first skill, meaning she only has her second skill. And then her second skill is completely useless if you're not fighting fire code enemies, right? So I'm sure just based on how you see how these all work, you get less damage when you use her burst skill, but you need to use her burst skill to get her first skill. And if you don't use her burst skill, you don't get her first skill. If you're not fighting fire code enemies, her second skill is useless. What? So literally all I'm relying on is this character's normal attack, and I don't like that. So let's take a look, because now we have insane damage supports from the Crown, Naga, Litter, like this damaging team right here. Like her normal attacks are just not good. But let's see. Hold on. She better cook. She better cook. Okay, she's gonna use her burst skill. If she don't cook, bro, hold on. Let me see. We're at 5.18 million, right? What are we at now? Remember, this is like a... Okay, so it's hitting a lot of enemies, but like it's... Oh my god. Okay, it went up by like... Okay, her normal attacks are gonna... Okay, the normal attacks... Yeah, I know, the normal attack skyrocketed. The normal attack skyrocketed. Okay, right? And that's how you get use of her. You use her with Crown and Naga and all these things because they make anybody do damage, right? So now, if you have Crown and Naga, look at those numbers. Look at those numbers you're the full burst. That's pretty good. Look at her. That's what Crown and Naga can do for you. They could make a character actually do something, right? They could actually make a character do something. Right? Look at her. Neon is actually doing slightly more than Crown, and that's saying something because my Crown is crazy invested, right? But then when you use her burst skill, you could see these numbers are just like mobs. I don't know. They're just not good enough. They're just not good enough. You just want to use her normal attack. The best case to use her is if you're gonna use her like Modernia. So what I mean by that is like this, right? Let's say I take this off the team, right? Let's say I don't put 100% uptime. My team would be like this, right? I would have her here, and then I would put characters like Red Hood, characters like maybe Scarlet. You could put these characters, and then that's how your team would go. So you would have her all the way in the back, and you just wouldn't use anything of hers but her normal attack. And then it's like, you don't need to have this character to do that. If I just wanted to use her normal attack, I could use other burst 3 machine guns, because there are other... Here, let me pull it up real quick on Pride Win. Who was a machine gun deep burst 3 character who has a higher, like, even Kilo maybe? Like Kilo has the exact same percentage as Summer Anise for normal attacks. So if I just wanted to get normal attacks, I don't need to have Summer Anise, right? And that's kind of how I find this character have no value whatsoever, because it's like, yeah, sure, I only want to use her normal attack so I can get the highest damage output, but it's like I don't need to summon for her to do that. Kilo was a free-to-play unit that has the exact same normal attack as Summer Neon. So like her whole kit is so silly because it doesn't allow it to go, like it doesn't want you using her kit for real. And then it's like, okay, what's the point? Like her damage, it's yeah, sure, it's still not crazy unless you have her with Naga. Like it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, right? It's kind of weird because it's like you want her with Naga, you want her with Crown, you want her with Thing to get insane damage outputs, right? This is just a comp that like lets anybody do high damage, right? The problem is you cannot run this character and Naga and Crown together and not have this character unless I literally run like the Killer Wife, maybe. But even still, that might be a stretch because I actually, no, not really. Let me see if I can finesse it. Let me see if I can finesse it. Let me see if I can finesse it. By running a comp like this where we have an extra 5 seconds and we have the Killer Wife, do I have to worry about, like, can I finesse it? I don't know. I just don't think this character is worth it. It's really hard to say she is when it's like nothing about her screams worth it. Like we have to fight bosses and stuff like that as well. Well, we don't have to, but even when you fight bosses with parts, she still won't have her highest damage output, right? Like you might be like, oh, but Zxous, you're gonna get the best from her. Like it's like, and maybe she might, but it's like it's not crazy, and that's the problem. That's the whole problem. It just doesn't work. And I don't know what they were doing with this character because they buffed her. It's not like Neon was a character who came out and she was just garbage from release and never got touched again. She got buffed, and even after her buff, she was still garbage because they decided to make a character who just gets weaker when you use her burst skill, but her whole thing is literally surrounded around, oh wow, we could have gotten it too. We could have survived that. Right, but look, her AoEs are not really doing, it's like, it looks like it's doing a lot because it's hitting multiple enemies, but in reality, it's not doing much, right? And it's like, this is a burst 3. She has full gear on and stuff like that. This is a burst 3 attacker, by the way. A limited character. This was like by far the biggest joke of Nikke. Like, dead ass. This is the biggest joke in Nikke history. No bizzle. This character is just not it. It's just not it. I'm sorry. Her damage is nice though when you're running this team, like I said, but it's just not. It's not good enough. It really isn't, and it's a joke. It's a joke. It really isn't good enough. Cause I could switch out Neon. Right now, no, let me let the full 1 minute and 30 seconds play. Remember, she has type advantage, and when you use her burst skill, she has that on. So if we actually take a look at her kit right here, we should have, what is this one called? Water jet? Water jet. We have it. We have all 3 water jets activated. Let's see how much she gets by the end of this game, which is coming to an end in a few seconds here. We're going to run this exact same comp. I'm just going to put in Kilo. That's it. Right? She got 65 million, right? 65 million. Type advantage with literally something in her skill that makes her do more damage against where she's like type effective against, right? Where is Kilo? Let me give Kilo, I don't even need to give Kilo gear. I'll just give Kilo this. All right, I won't even give Kilo gear. We're gonna go in there one more time. This time no neon at all, right? I'm not gonna, I probably could cut this part out because you guys don't really need to see it. I mean, I'll leave it in there for the people who always want proof. But if you look at Kilo, I'm gonna show you guys, right? She got 65 million, right? Does Kilo get more or close to that despite Neon having type advantage, despite her having a passive that makes her do more damage against characters or enemies that she's type effective against? Like, are we really going to, like, this is a free-to-play character, by the way, y'all, and it's okay for some free-to-play characters in Nikke to do better than some of the non-free-to-play characters, right? But it's like, my whole point is that this character, for a summonable character, is quite a letdown, if you want me to be honest, right? She's quite a letdown, that Summer Neon character. So if you like Neon, if you are a collector in the game, That's your only reason why, the only real reason why you should be summoning. Only because you genuinely like the character or something like that, right? Cause let's see, right? I'm expecting this character, Kilo, to be down by 40,000 or 40 million, or not 40 million, but like 20 million. Right, if she's even remotely close to Neon, despite, again, I'm trying to I'm trying to say this multiple times so you guys understand what I'm saying. Neon was type effective against these enemies and has a passive in her kit that makes her do more damage against characters she's type effective against, right? That's the whole point of her. So I really am curious, who's doing more damage? Kilo, the free-to-play unit, who is the type neutral, and the defender. Oh my god, bro. You see? Kilo's a defender, y'all. Not leveled up defender gear. She might be 3 stars. I'm not sure if I invested into my Kilo. I'm not sure if I invested. No, she's not. She's not. No attractions, no dupes. This was the gear. 555 and the same cube. Let me go back to Neon just so you guys can see that comparison, because people think Neon had full Elysion level 5 gear, 555, the same cube. Also no dupes, no attraction. Kilo, the defender, hit harder than Neon, the SSR summonable attacker DPS bursting. Bro, I've seen enough, bro. You guys let me know. Don't even let me know what you think. Just don't summon. I really don't care what you think. Unless you tell me unless you are telling me you like Neon and that's the only reason why you're summoning, don't try to justify it to me why this character is good or bad. Just don't do it. I'm out, bro. I'm out, bro.